Paradoxes!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, paradoxes. Like Back to the Future. Yeah. I know, yeah. I guess because when you play Chrono Cross, like after you play Trigger, especially if you're like a fanboy of Chrono Trigger like me, and then like you see it's like what I took the most insult to is like I don't want to even really spoil. I don't know if we should spoil on the show, but like kind of what happens to the original cast or like what they say about them. I don't know if you remember. Did you kind of do you remember like Luca's like orphanage? What kind of happens in that cutscene? I know it's part of it.
Zone A neutralized.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now.
Yeah, just like kind of the treatment that's given to like the original cast. I don't know. I didn't. It was pretty. I thought it was pretty brutal. Maybe it's just because it's like it's hard to say anything without spoiling.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I almost forgot about that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, how the fuck did you forget about that?
That's the only thing I remember. Yeah, and even just the plot. It's so.
Yeah, I mean, for a good portion of it, there's almost no real connection with Chrono Trigger. And yeah, there is a lot going on. Like, when you get to the Dead Owls section of the game, it just blows your fucking brains out.
I will give this to the game. It's honestly some of those locations were like inspired. Like they were fantastic. Like the Dead Island, like the Dead Sea, that area.
Yeah.
Like walking through, it looks like an old mall or something. Like everything's destroyed. There's like escalators and stuff, and then like the music. And even that area, like, okay, this is a minor spoiler, but like, okay, when Surge, like, he kind of transforms for the first time.
Yeah.
Or he has to transform, like, I forget what that area is called, but it looks like kind of like a painting.
Oh, that weird dimension he gets trapped in.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. I just remember it was some weird pocket dimension he's trapped in.
So cool. I remember that. Like the locations in that game, like the graphical style.
Yeah.
And everything, it looked like a generation ahead of its time. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it did have really nice graphics.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
Yeah, I love the music too. The music. I think nobody can disagree. The music was good, even if you hated the game.
Yeah, no, the music was fantastic. Yeah, the opening song, I forget what it's called now. Something of Time, Scars of Time. Oh my god, I fucking love that song. The introduction's amazing. So good, so good. That's why I want to love that game. But I don't know, the story kind of throws me for a loop.
Yeah, what's really funny is I didn't even understand the big picture when I was a kid playing as a kid. And like when I rewatched H.C. Bailey's Let's Play, when I first I watched a lot of his early Square Enix stuff, Squaresoft stuff when I first discovered him several years ago, and I watched his Chrono Cross one, was like maybe the third or fourth one of his Let's Plays I watched, and I was just, after playing it before, you get to sit here and kind of re-see things and be like, oh, it was hinting that, or oh, it was referring that, and be like, it's like, I find it sad I never really got the big plot point that why the two split timelines happened in the first place. For some reason I missed that when I first played it.
Yeah, you know what, it's a game it's like, have you played Xenogears?
I played a little bit, but sadly that's one of the sinful ones I never got to get playing. I believe you even asked me that before, and I told you that's sadly one of the few I haven't gotten around to.
It's a long game to beat too, but like it's kind of like one of those games where like you have to play it like more than once to kind of get it.
And that's actually what's interesting with Let's Plays, in my opinion. It kind of lets you re-experience the story without having to actually put in the time to do grinding and all that stuff, and you can kind of re-enjoying the story and then be like, oh, there's little references here, or there's the big... Yeah.
It's probably foreshadowing to this. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I never thought of that.
It's an interesting way to do that on really deep story-related games.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially RPGs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. But like, I always have this kind of thing. I don't like. I try not to replay games because I'm like, well, if I spend time replaying this game, I could have been playing this whole new game, and then like writing a review for that game instead of talking about this game again. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, there's so many games to play, and I feel like I'm so behind all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll
Zone
definitely
C
look into that.
neutralized.
But okay, so we talked about our favorite
Enemy
Super
captured
Nintendo games.
Zone A.
Obviously, like we can, well, if we go to an honorable mentions, we'll probably be here forever. This could be its own topic. Okay, you can pick the next system.
The pick for favorites?
Yeah, or like a different question. Yeah, whatever works.
Well, since you went with 16-bit,
Mhm.
I would be curious, what do you think out of the PS3, Xbox 360, Wii generation?
Oh,
And I guess you
well,
can throw in the DS and PSP in there. Now
okay.
that generation. What do you
Oh.
think was a really good modern Japanese RPG? Because I think we can all agree that the newer systems have been very lacking on really good
Pretty
Japanese
brutal.
RPGs. I mean,
Yeah.
they've either went full perversion or just
It's just,
recycled, used things that we've seen bazillions of times. I
it
mean,
has been, I know it's been pretty bad for that. And okay, well, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with too many of the games of like the newer like RPGs because there's not that many. First of all, I do want to play Final Fantasy 13 sometime soon, but the one that jumps
just
to
don't
mind,
touch lightnings with talking.
the one that immediately jumps to mind is The World Ends with You for the DS. I love that game.
Zone A.
No, what's funny is, I don't know if you know, I don't know if you watch a lot of my videos still that, because I know you're a very busy person, don't
I
worry.
try,
I'm
I
not,
know, I'm
I'm not
sorry,
gonna drag you into my little dungeon, have everyone beat you up or anything.
Not yet.
But, but, I don't know if you noticed, and I know obviously, you know, some people think it's weird or that, but, you know, I've actually found a lot of interesting stuff, but, I have been dumpster diving GameStop, and I don't know if you've seen any of those videos of that.
I've seen the title, like I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen, yeah, okay, so yeah.
And, you know, one of the reasons I've always skipped every opportunity to get a copy of that game is because I never can find it with its contents, and it's like $20 of that, just because
yeah.
it's Squire Enix.
Yeah.
But I found a case with all its art and everything perfectly fine, with nothing on it and that, and they had a copy of it, so I actually finally
Wow.
bought it. That.
Really? So wow, yeah, I can never find it. Whenever I go out to any of the GameStop or like EB Games here in Canada, that's what it's called, but
Yeah.
never find it. No, never. I still don't have a copy. Don't tell anybody.
You know, that's actually what's really hilarious too with the dumpster diving. It also lets me sometimes know when they have something. It's like, oh well,
Yeah.
here's the case for that. So I'm actually interested in that. I'll go pick that up today. What's
Yeah.
what's the price tag? $2? Sure.
Sure, yeah, you know why not? Yeah, honestly.
But I mean, and I don't want to get too much into that. But I mean, I found several games and things and that. And I know I just had a WANT thing go up on it, so I'm not gonna go all wanty on that.
Yeah. No, so have you tried The World Ends with You yet? Or
I did a very, very short try of it, and that just like, I'm sure I need to try longer than like the first two battles,
yeah, no.
because
you
I'm
should.
just like,
Yeah.
like I need a little more time to.
You definitely, yeah, even just to get used to the battle system, because there's a lot going on in the battle system, especially, yeah, with like the top.
Yeah, and that's
three and
just with
everything.
the one kill though. Yeah, I know. Once you actually get the game rolling, you got two screens and stuff
Yeah,
going on.
It was bad though. I pretty much ignored the second screen, and that got me killed a lot. So I'm like, guys, come on, I have one set of eyes. I can't do this. It's not
Yeah, I mean,
possible.
personally, I don't know if I'm gonna really like the game.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I don't know. I definitely do. I can't say I just hated it because I tried only the two fights you do in the little tutorial thing, and then the cutscene with the goal winning way and that. So I mean, it's not like I gave it a fair shake. I mean, I just tried it real quick, and it's like, a little too much plot right now. kind of don't have time to go through so much plot. I just was trying it out real quick, but
Okay.
yeah, I do need to give it a more fair shake.
I would like to see that. I would like to see your initial impressions if you do that. That would be very good. I love that game. But sorry, yeah. So I love it for like the characters. I think the characters are good. The story is actually surprisingly good.
What do you think about the music, though? Because
Uh,
the initial music, one viewer of mine talked about a week before I actually found a copy of the game finally, and I got back with him and I told him I hate the music. I hate the music.
yeah. When I first started, I'm like, what the f is this shit? It's all like J-pop.
I'm like,
Like, I'm like, I'm gonna.
my impression was, is this even Japanese?
Yeah, I know what it was like. It's like pseudo-Japanese. There's like English words thrown in here or there. It's like actually kind of like English J-pop, I guess, in a way. There's some crazy shit going on there. But yeah, like initially, like for like the first like maybe 10 hours of the game, like the soundtrack sucks. I hate this shit. This is garbage. But then like as like the chorus gets stuck in your head, then like at the end of the game, I'm like singing all the songs. I think I have like from that game, I have at least like a dozen songs from that game on my iPod because it gets in your head and it's not that bad. But yeah, when I first started, I'm like, what is this shit? Like, what am I doing with my life?
Okay, and I just dumped all that information to Google Translate. The music was so hypnotizingly horrible, I had to actually convince myself to like it to stay sane. Okay, thank you, Google Translate.
I love that.
Okay, but not trying to say anything bad to anyone who liked it. I just I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's
But then again, I only got to listen to probably like the opening and 3 songs, because like I said, I didn't go very far. It was just more plot dumping at the time, and I was just trying out real quick. I wasn't sitting down to collectively make a first impression yet.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, like you'll probably hate it initially, but it sticks with you, okay?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I played something I hated to the end. Oh my goodness, I still wonder how I finished Lufia, The Wounds of War. That game is such a disappointment to Lufia.
Oh,
It's even worse than Lufia 1.
Oh god, okay.
I mean, at least Lufia 1 was just a generic RPG.
Yeah, like
Lufia, The Wounds of War is horrible. It's like, it has no balancement, the job system is pointless, like, one of the most beginning generic abilities slash all that hits everything is like the most useful fucking thing in the entire game.
Whoa.
It's cheap in TP cost, and you can spam it and hit everything. All the other advanced moves and shit, fuck them. They cost too much. They hit one target. You can get so much more spreaded out damage using slash all over and over again. Like, the whole job system is worthless. It's just, that's a whole different rant, though.
But where does that fall in kind of like to the timeline? Does it like connect to the main games at all? Or
It takes place after, it would technically take place, it takes place after Lufia 2, because Derek appears in it. So, yeah, it takes place after Lufia 2, which further insults anyone who actually likes the games. But it's very important to note that the original creators of any of the Lufia games had nothing to do with Wounds of War. They did have a hand in the DS reimagining of Lufia 2,
yeah.
but they did not have anything to do with Wounds of War. That was a whole Dragon Ball GTA kind of thing with a publisher.
Oh god. Wait, okay.
Wait,
sorry.
did I say GTA? I meant GT. Why did I say GTA? I meant GT.
Like the Greater Toronto area. I'm like, yeah.
No, I meant Dragon Ball G, because, you know, the original creator of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, the most he did was say, okay, that design's kind of okay, and the Taito did whatever the fuck they want with the plot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like, quick, one with it, more money!
We need more money, said every company ever.
Wait.
Okay, sorry, what's it called? So let's get back to what was your favorite RPG of like the new generations, or like one of your favorites or whatever comes to mind.
I think it's more of an action RPG. It has less minor RPG elements, but it does have RPG elements.
I think I know where you're going. Okay, go ahead.
What do you think? Huh?
Are you gonna say Dark Souls?
Well, to be honest, Dark Souls is up there, and I would say it's a very favorite game. But actually, the thing is, yeah, it is from Japan, but it's actually in more of a, Western medieval kind of design kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is from Japan, but in the kind of subject matter we're talking about, I don't think it kind of fits the bill in it. But it is definitely, the Souls games are one of my favorite RPGs of the generation, but, I meant more in the classical kind of thing of that, so...
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And it is a Square Enix title, which is shocking since, they haven't been on a good one.
Mine was too, yeah, so...
This is true, too.
This is weird.
But I think I would have to really give it to Neo. It's still... It was, I think it came out in 2009, I believe, and it's still stuck to me, even now, as a really memorable Japanese RPG action game. I really loved it. The story, it was so great to do a Let's Play of it again. I mean, it was a really enjoyable game, and a lot of people, ever since I did my channel and talked about an older videos and that, a lot of people have always said, hey, thanks for introducing me to this game. I love it. I love the music, the story, the art, the characters.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, actually, to be honest, I haven't heard too much about it. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Neo...
You know.
Okay, the American version of Neo, but there were actually two versions of Neo in Japan. In Japan...
How do you spell that quickly? It's
I believe it's Nier, I believe.
Oh, that... Well, yeah, yes, okay, I've heard of it, yeah. I've never gotten into it, though, yeah, okay.
In the Japanese version, the PS version you played as a teenager Neo, and in the 360 version you played as a adult Neo. In the PS3 version, the little child character was your sister, and in the 360 version, she was your daughter. But for America, both versions are adult Neo. So, and I actually like that more because, well, the original PS3 teenager Neo is, well, if you look him up, he's probably, if not knowing his personality at all, you would probably label him more emo looking than Squall.
Yeah. That goes, oh wow, that's possible?
Like, he looks incredibly emo.
It's hard.
And I kind of like the fact that you get to play this fatherly figure who's out to try to save his daughter.
Zone B lost.